God declares this word is specifically for you. The period when quietude was a shield and serenity a sanctuary has concluded. Something has been concealed from your awareness, meticulously forged in secrecy, and it directly involves your path forward. It pertains to the events unfolding in the days to come. St. Francis conveys, a startling pact has been formed without your awareness, cloaked by an illusion of trust. And the consequences are significant. Not due to your solitude, nor your lack of defense, but because God's affection for you is too immense to allow you to step into a compromised destiny without the illumination of truth. You absolutely must not overlook this. This communication has reached you not through happenstance, not by mere probability, but by heavenly ordinance. Heaven has inclined its voice to your very ears right now, because the portal of opportunity is swiftly opening and closing. This concerns your destiny. The days ahead were intended to usher in renewal, tranquility, and a bountiful return you have sought in prayer through tears, in the solitude of your late-night dialogues with God when no one else was attentive. He invariably was, and now he communicates not with gentleness, but with the resonant voice of a father justifiably incensed, not from a wish to inflict pain, but because he has witnessed what has transpired in the shadows. God states, this word is for you. Receive it now. Do not hesitate. St. Francis imparts, the accord struck behind your back touches upon a reliance meant to safeguard you, a faithfulness meant to respect you, and what pains heaven most profoundly is the identity of those involved. God says, I harbor significant displeasure towards your daughter. The anguish is profound because this is not merely about defiance or misjudgment. This is about an undertaking that sought to contort what I had pledged to you. God declares, the one you nurtured with your own hands, the one you shielded with prayers, the one to whom you devoted every ounce of your vigor has forgotten the resonance of truth and inclined towards something different. And it was no mischance. Do not perceive this instance as condemnation. God is not delivering judgment. He is unveiling reality, because your soul is worthy of entering the entirety of its promise unencumbered by surrounding falsehoods. God says, I have observed in stillness for a sufficient duration, and now he articulates. And when heaven articulates, the earth must quiver and acquiesce. Something was ratified. Something was uttered. Something was consented to that, if not halted now, would alter the trajectory of what God envisioned for your journey. But God proclaims, not under my vigilance. The unease you've been experiencing, the tightness in your chest upon waking, that peculiar silence in your surroundings, these are because your spirit has perceived what your physical eyes have yet to witness. You sensed something was amiss. You discerned something was incorrect. God states, now I affirm it. You were not merely imagining things. There was a basis for it. God is not incensed with you. You need to comprehend that. He is not chagrined by you. He is not let down by your course. He perceives you. He still perceives the child within you who endeavored their utmost. He still perceives the soul within you that persevered when every fiber of your being yearned to surrender. He perceives your tears that never reached your pillow. And this is why he communicates today, not to smite, but to caution, not to injure, but to mend, not to dismantle, but to reconstruct with veracity. St. Francis says, you possess greater strength than you realize, but you are not intended to bear this disclosure in solitude. This message emanates from the most eminent courts of heaven because your future remains in the process of being inscribed, and heaven is intervening at this juncture before anything takes root that has no place there. This shocking pact, this silent act of perfidy, was never destined for success. God is already dismantling it. Even as you peruse this, he is already reversing what was orchestrated against your rightful inheritance. But he required you to be aware. He needed your heart to grasp his justice, his omniscience, and his refusal to let silence shield deception any further. There is something more God wishes you to hear right now. You will soon receive a remarkably pleasant surprise from me. The anguish you currently feel, the bewilderment, the exasperation, the ache that rests upon your chest like a weight will soon be replaced by something exquisite. God says, your tears are a form of payment I have regarded. Your prayers have not been in vain. The very arena of your betrayal is where I will bestow my blessing. The very individual who sought to extinguish your joy will hold no dominion over your peace. The startling pact was designed to obstruct your blessing, but it has merely quickened its arrival. God declares, do not be terrified of the truth. It may cause a pang now, but it will liberate you. What was obscured can no longer linger in the shadows. St. Francis imparts, this message is a clarion call to your spirit. It is not to be bypassed. It is not to be disregarded because someone who resides under your roof, who has experienced your affection, who has shared your table, has made choices impacting your morrow without your approval. And now heaven intercedes, not to induce shame, but to initiate a shift. At last, God is bringing this to light. The shroud is being lifted. The pretenses are crumbling. The words uttered in confidence are now resonating in heaven's tribunal. But do not linger in mourning. Do not remain mired in sorrow, because while something has been fractured, something new is emerging. A gift is en route to you. Something bearing your name inscribed in golden script within heaven's chronicles. A surprise that will serve as a reminder of how deeply you are cherished. Something unforeseen. Something that will cause you to weep not from sorrow but from elation. God says you have waited sufficiently. Now permit me to astound you. He is not merely exposing, he is reinstating. He is not merely revealing what went awry, he is implanting what will rectify it. The path ahead is not obscure, it is being cleared. And every falsehood spoken against you, every act of treachery committed against you, every scheme whispered in secret to sever your promise, God proclaims, I am disrupting it with my own hand. St. Francis says, you must be prepared. Heaven is in motion. The currents have changed. A gateway you were not even aware of will soon materialize, and what was wrested from you will be restored manifold. But first, God requests your attention. Will you confront the truth? Will you open your heart to the actuality that someone you held in confidence has made a decision that must be brought into the light? God says, I love your daughter, but I cannot endorse what is cloaked in falsehood, and I cannot permit her choices to obstruct your blessings. This is not retribution. This is a refinement. And through this crucible, something precious will emerge, something hallowed, something pure. You are being readied for a divine encounter, and it commences with truth. St. Francis states, this message is not intended to frighten you. It is intended to empower you. What has arrayed itself against your future will not prevail. What has been agreed upon in obscurity will be shattered by the light. And what God has decreed over your life, no clandestine agreement, no hidden utterance, no misjudgment of another can halt what heaven has ordained. The surprise God is orchestrating will nullify the acrimony of this betrayal. You will reflect and say, it was beneficial that I was shown the truth. It was beneficial that I was led out of deception. It was beneficial that God intervened. Because what follows will feel as though heaven itself has graced the earth for your benefit. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. You are not the totality of others' actions. You are God's cherished one. You are His chosen. You are the one He safeguards, the one He directs, the one for whom He still has designs. This communication is for you. Absorb it entirely. Let it permeate every recess of bewilderment, of anticipation, of apprehension. God says it is not concluded. It is merely commencing. The pages are turning. And the subsequent chapter is replete with joy, replete with justice, replete with the splendor of everything intended for you, finally reaching your threshold. This is your affirmation. Heaven has spoken. Now you must determine. Will you proceed in truth, or will you remain in comfort? Will you permit God to clear the passage for your future? Will you place your faith in Him even amidst this pain? If you do, the forthcoming surprise will become clear, and it will surpass anything you could have envisioned. More is on its way. Shall I proceed? My cherished child, there are junctures in the cadence of existence when heaven stoops low to impart whispers into the hearts of those navigating blindly through tempests. There are divine urgencies that admit no postponement. This communication is one such instance. This communication is for you. Indeed you, the one whose spirit has been unquiet, the one who perceives an intangible shift, the one who has been intuiting that not all is as it appears in your surroundings. I, the Lord your God, who sculpted the stars and breathed life into your soul, have come to address you now. And I require your focused attention, not merely with your ears, but with the perception of your spirit fully awakened. Something hallowed is being meddled with behind your back. A startling pact has been concluded in secret. It bears your name, your future, your ultimate destiny. While you were petitioning for peace and cultivating seeds of virtue, there were hushed conversations in hidden places. There were smiles that concealed true motives. There were decisions made not with your welfare as a priority, but with self-interest and manipulation at their core. It is intended for you to ascend. Do not persuade yourself that you comprehend her heart better than I. I perceive what is concealed. I hear what is uttered when no one else is present. I sense what ferments in the heart long before it manifests as action. And I am informing you, your daughter has taken measures that are not acceptable to me. She has spoken of you with words imbued with bitterness, accusation, and derision. She has permitted others to cultivate her uncertainty. And she, in turn, has mentioned your name in forums where she should have shown you respect. She has aligned herself with those who view you as a means to an end, not as a precious gift. This message is not conveyed to you to humiliate her. I love her even in her disorientation. But this concerns your future, and the agreement she has entered into is not of my making. And though her heart did not entirely grasp its gravity, she is nonetheless a participant. A spiritual dealing is transpiring in the unseen. Documents in the ethereal domain where trust is being bartered. Where inheritances are being redrafted without your name included. I cannot remain mute. I must alert you, not because you are feeble, but because your trust has been too immaculate. You have loved without reservation. But love must also be discerning. Your tears have resonated with me. The manner in which you have supported your family, the sacrifices you have enacted, the nights you remained awake praying for their safeguarding, it has not escaped my notice. But while you were enfolding them in prayer, she was allowing herself to be drawn into an alternative current. She was invited to discussions from which you were barred. Decisions are being formulated, schemes are developing, and your exclusion from these schemes is not coincidental. I am stepping in now. You informed me you were prepared to hear the unvarnished truth. This is the response to that appeal. St. Francis says, I have lingered at your threshold for nights attempting to connect with you. I have endeavored to deliver messages through your dreams into your reflections. But diversions and emotional clamor have obscured the lucidity. But now you are reading this, and you cannot disregard what heaven is unveiling. I direct you to open your heart to this reality. A profound transformation is imminent. If you do not make preparations, you will be taken unawares by what will shortly emerge. This is not an occasion for spiritual complacency. This is an occasion to approach the throne of God and solicit guidance as never before. The pact that was established, God is in the process of nullifying it. But you must be amenable to facing the unease. You must be willing to confront what is genuine, even when it clashes with your cherished hopes. Your daughter is not irredeemable, but she stands at a critical juncture. And if you do not speak into her life with the authority I have bestowed upon you, she will stray further from the light. Do not await her request for assistance. She may not even perceive the precipice before her, but I do. And I require you to take action, not in wrath, but in sacred courage, not in trepidation, but in spirit-guided empathy. Time remains, but the moments are fleeting. Do not permit sweet utterances to beguile you. Do not let transient acts of kindness muddle your discernment. I have been providing you with indications. The strain within your home, the peculiar postponements in your endeavors, the recurrent instances of confusion. These were not arbitrary. They were alerts, spiritual vibrations meant to awaken you before the substantial tremor commenced. You must not dismiss them any longer. You are on the verge of entering something novel, something sacred. I have been preparing a haven for you, a season where the agony of your past will no longer dictate. But you cannot transport betrayal into this new domain. You cannot construct upon a foundation of concealed dishonor. What I am cultivating within you is untainted, steadfast, consecrated, and only those who walk in truth can accompany you. If you attempt to bring everyone along, even those who have conspired against you in secret, you will impede the promise. I do not desire postponement for you. I wish to hasten your blessing. Forgiveness remains your mandate. Yes, but forgiveness does not equate to uncritical acceptance. You are permitted to say, I acknowledge you and I forgive you, but I will not surrender my tranquility. My spirit will guide your actions. I will furnish you with the words. I will dispatch confirmation. I will even send an individual to articulate the very same words you are now perusing. That is the extent of my desire for you to believe this is no mere chance. This is your divine summons to awaken. At last, God is exposing what has been concealed. At last, I am bringing into the light what was perpetrated in secret. At last, you will perceive with clarity. And when you do, you will experience the peace that has been absent. You will no longer toss and turn, pondering what is amiss. You will no longer question your intuition. You will know. And in that knowing, there will be liberation. My child, you are invaluable to me. I have not guided you this far to permit shadows to seize what is rightfully yours. Arise. Stand firm in your identity. Proclaim the truth. Pray with renewed fervor. Love without apprehension, but lead with sagacity. The winds are transforming, and your name is being uttered in antechambers of breakthrough. Simply do not allow the clamor of betrayal to divert you from the sound of your calling. You are consecrated for this precise moment. And I am not yet concluded. More is forthcoming. But you must act upon your current understanding. Open your heart. Open your eyes. Open your mouth in prayer. This communication is for you. Do not tarry. Heaven awaits. God says, do not be afraid. Do not give way to panic. Do not believe it is excessively late. You are secure. You are protected. You are watched over by the celestial messengers of the Lord who surround those who revere him. God will be with you. Be assured, no harm will befall you. Even now, peace is suffusing your space like a gentle current. It is not the peace the world offers, but the peace of the one who commands the tempest. You merely need to trust God and commune with him. Call out, whisper, cry, speak with conviction. He hears it all. Not for your acquaintance. Not for someone else. It is for you. The burden you've been shouldering was not a figment of your imagination. The constriction in your chest was not arbitrary. The restless nights were not merely due to stress. They were your spirit reacting to events unfolding beyond the veil. But now God is bestowing revelation. And with revelation comes renewal. Someone you cherish deeply has been led astray. Their heart is torn between affection and deception. They do not yet see it, but you do. And this is your opportunity to intercede. God says, articulate my word. Speak vitality. Speak protection. I will act with celerity. The one who imagines they are outmaneuvering you will confront their own conscience, not by your actions, but by the stirring of God's Spirit. St. Francis reiterates, unseal this without delay. This pertains to your future. A startling pact has been made, but the appointed time has not expired. You still possess influence through prayer. You still hold authority in your voice. God says, I will redirect the heart of your daughter back towards wisdom. I will reveal to her who genuinely supports her. I will rouse her to awareness. But you must not cease your prayers. You must not abandon her. Even in your disappointment, envelop her with grace, because I will bring restoration. He is already orchestrating events behind the scenes. There is movement in the spiritual realm. There is a shift in the atmosphere. Eyes are being opened, hearts are being stirred, minds are being altered. God says, the adversary attempted to obliterate you, but I am reinscribing your name in gold. I am elevating your name in circles you have yet to enter. You are not overlooked. You are not left in arrears. You are chosen. You are loved. You are shielded. Even now, heaven is contending on your behalf. Your tears have been collected in golden vessels. Your prayers have ascended like fragrant offerings before the throne. This is the juncture. This is the hour. God says, speak anew, hope anew, trust anew. And finally, God is unveiling this. The silence is fracturing. The light is penetrating. And every shadow will be expelled. St. Francis urges, do not postpone. Do not disregard this stirring within your soul. Respond now. Heaven is alongside you. God says, this is not merely about what transpired. This is about what I am poised to accomplish. Observe. Pray. Be still. Then proceed. When I command you to proceed, you will witness justice. You will witness clarity. You will witness renewal, and you will recognize that it was I, the Lord your God, who has brought it to pass.